Today in part 5 for lesson 5, we'll discuss control statements. And this is one of the video of C++ tutorial for beginners. And it is for class 10 or 12 computer science students who are learning C++ language, or for those who wants to learn a new tag skill and want to improve themselves, earn from their learning, or be productive in their jobs. So let's start with the control statements. But before that, some of my students ask about why C++. That is a question most of the students ask. Why should we learn C++? Is it beneficial or not? Or why should we learn it? So the answer to this one, first of all, C or C++ is considered a mother of all languages. Why? Just to give you a simple example, if you learn C or C++, you can switch to any other language within days. For example, I switched to Python within 1 week. Means you can cover all the basics of Python, its logic, and all the things within a week. Same applies with the Java or C#. You can do the same within 15 to 20 days. I am talking about the beginning or the basics of the language. So it is very beneficial to learn C++ in the beginning or in the start of programming career. So now let's start with the control statements. So first of all, what are the control statements? Let's see. Control statements. A computer program is the set of instructions in sequential form. Obviously, sequence is 1, 2, 3 like this. Again, these instructions execute from top to bottom. We can control the flow of program with the help of control statements. So these are the control statements we use to control the flow of the program. Control statements are used to control the direction of program by repeating any block of code, loops, making a choice, or simply transfer the control to any specific block of program, selection or decision making. These statements help programmers to decide which part of code is executed at certain time. So C++ has 3 types of control statements. Basically, we are following this book. So the link in the description as well. And the link of all the videos is also there in the description. And I will add the description in the description, the link to the playlist as well. So if you like this video, you can follow the previous one, so that you will have some idea that how I'm going to cover all these topics. So let's start with the selection or decision making structure first. So these are 3: selection, decision making structure, preparation or loops, for the jump. So first, in today's lecture, we'll cover selection or decision making structure. So they are used to decide whether a certain part of code is executed or not. So C++ has 3 decision making structures: if statement, if else, or switch statement. So we'll cover if and if else, and if we got the time, we can cover the switch as well. If statement, it is a basic decision statement. The structure contains if keyword followed by a conditional expression in parentheses and then its body of statement, also called its block. If there are more than one statement in if block or body, we include all of them in braces. We'll see the example in a bit. First, let me explain this one. For example, the program comes to this one and the condition is there, if statement is there. So we check with the help of operators, and you can see the link in the description of operators video. So I have covered all the operators in that video. So we'll use these operators in this one. If condition is true, then a block of statement will be executed. Otherwise, if the condition is wrong or false, this block will be bypassed, or it will not be run here. So we can say if a statement checks a condition, if the condition is true, the statement is in if block or executed, and if condition is false, it leaves the statement in if block. It leaves the statement in if block and starts executing statement after if block from here onwards. And the syntax is, you can see if test condition, and the block starts with the curly braces, and we can close it as well. So let's start with the first program. And in the first program, what we are going to do here, this is something like a boilerplate, you know very well. Let me maximize it. First of all, hash include iString, using name is steady, integer main, integer num. I declare a variable num, and then cout, enter any number. I will take input in variable num, and it is an integer variable. So what I'm going to do now, next I'm going to check if num is greater than 0. What I'm going to check here, if the num is greater than 0, so it will print out it is a positive integer or number. Okay, so this is the printout. Okay, and it is in the if block. So this is the condition, and here we have got an operator, and it will check and return 1 if the value is greater than 0. So 1 means true, 1 is equal to true. We have seen in previous video as well. It means yes, it means on. Again, so all these things are the same. Again, only if it is true. So let's save it, press F11 to run it. No errors, and let's see the output. Enter any number. Okay, let me enter any number. So I will enter 10. So what it will print? It will print it is a positive number. Okay, and if I enter -10, so it will not print anything. Okay, so there is no output statement here. So what I'm going to do now, first of all, this is if. We have covered if. Now I'm going to add else in this one. Else is a block, is another block. If this one is executed, so it's like it will be left. Otherwise, else would be executed like this. Okay. So either of these, either this or the next statement here, this will be printed. So if num is greater than 0, it means it is positive. Otherwise, it is negative. So I will write here negative. Okay. So basically we'll cover if and else if together. And as you can see in this one, after this one, we have got else if here. If else. In this one, you can see the structure of the if else contains if keyword followed by conditional expression in parentheses, and then its body of the statement, then else keyword and its body of the statement. It checks a condition. If the condition is true, the statement in if block are executed. And in case of false, the condition in it execute statements in else block, either this one or this one. So this either this statement will be executed or these statements will be executed. So in if or else, that is a condition. So let me complete and run this program. Control S, F11. Let me enter first number 10. Press enter, and it is a positive number. So which one? This line is executed here. Again, let me do it. Again, this one. And now I want to check with the other one. Let's run again. Enter -10, and it is a negative number. So which line? Only this line is executed here. Okay. So this is our if else if. Now come to the nested if. There's another topic here, so I want to just cover it quickly. Nested if. Nested if means if an if statement which is a part of block of another if statement is called nested if. The inner if statement will only be tested if the outer if statement is true. Okay, let me just add one more functionality to this program, and I want to check it is even or odd. Okay, so basically in this if statement, I am going to make another if statement, and it will be the inner one, this one inner, and this one outer. So like this, if you put the statements, so it becomes nested. It is called nested if. So I'm going to check num, and one of the operator we used %sign or the modulus operator. and it will give us the remainder. Remainder means if the num is 10, if we put divided by 2, so or remainder, so we will get the remainder 0. It means if the value is 0, so it is even number. Likewise, let me just put it here. If the value, for example, 11 modulus 2 is equal to 1, so the value is 1, then it will be odd. So I want to just add this condition here in the next statement, okay? And it will be in the block. Order block is if, and there is another if in this one. So this is called nested if. Let me just add one line here. So this is like this. So it is a positive odd number, and else means it is not the condition, so even number. So basically what we have done, we have put another if and this outer if. This is outer if and this is inner if. So whenever we use like this two ifs, so it is called, this one is called nested if. Okay, nested if. Let's run the program. Enter the value and enter the number. So I'm going to put here positive, even, and odd. Okay, so I'm going to put 11. So it will print it is positive odd number. So let's run again, and now I will enter 10 here. So let's see what happens. 10, and it should print it is a positive even number. So this line is executed. Hope that it is clear. If anything is not clear, just let me know in the comment and I will explain it to you in next video again. Okay, so we have covered this one, nested if. Now come to the switch statement. The next one is switch statement. So basically let me just comment it out so that we'll work on the switch statement. I'm going to take the variable here as it is. Let me just enter any number and then cin num. Okay, input any number. Now come to the switch statement. What does it do? The switch statement starts with switch keyword followed by a variable or expression in parentheses, then a block of switch statement in braces. The block contains one or more case statements, each followed by integer or character. Just keep in mind it only checks integer or character constants, and then colon. Okay, so it is like a set of fixed values we give, case 1, case 2, case 3, and then a block executed. So okay, and let's check this one. This is a syntax switch expression, communal braces, case constant 1, 2, 3, like this, and then default, then the closing statement. Now let's use this one. Enter any number, or what we'll do, we will check if they are weak, and it should be 1, 2, 7. Okay, so the values are fixed. So I will start with switch switch, and then the variable is num. Okay, and then a block starts, and then case 1. Case 1 means if we enter 1, so I want to print out here C out and then Monday. So just see the syntax, semicolon, and then a break is compulsory. I will explain in the end why is it important to use break, but let me first complete this one. So what we do, switch and then the variable name, and whatever the possible outcomes are there, like case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we just write case 1, this is the separator or the column. Then what it will do, this is the block or the statement, it will print Monday, then semicolon, and then break statement. And it is very important to use break statement all the time, otherwise it will execute the next statement. I will show you this in the example next. Case 1 Monday, then case 2 Tuesday. I'm going to check it quickly. Case 3 and Wednesday, and then Thursday, number 4, Thursday, 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 Friday, number 5, Friday, then Saturday, number 6, and the last one is Sunday, number 7. If we enter number 7, it will show us Sunday. One more thing, let me just run it and then I'll show you one more thing. Okay, F11, execute it, and let's see what happens if we enter 5. 5, it will print Friday. Okay, it's Friday. Let me just enter another value, like if I enter 10, what will happen? No output. So what I want here, that if none of these 1 to 7 are not executed, again, so it will execute default. The keyword is default. Default will print one more thing here. We don't need the break here, and it will print here invalid number. Okay, so we have idea that we enter the wrong value, or in simple terms, if none of the case matches, it will print the default statement. Okay, so that is the simple thing. Okay, let me just print the n here at this one, so it will be on next line for our next example. Yes, okay, now let me print. I enter 10 and it will show us invalid number. Okay, so invalid number is there. Now what I want to show you one more thing here, that if we don't write or just miss the break statement, what will happen? Again, last time I entered 5, it printed Friday only. Okay, now I'm going to do it again, and I enter 5 again, but see what happens. It will print Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and invalid number, all the values, because we didn't write here break. So break is important in case statement, otherwise it will continue to execute the next statements. Okay, hope that's clear. Let's just have a look the comparison of these three we have covered. First of all, if a statement checks a condition using relational and other operators, we have covered in the last video, and link in the description. If the condition is true, the statement in if block execute. If condition is false, it leaves the statement in if block and start executing statement after if block. That's a simple thing. And in this one, the difference is that condition is true if block, or condition is false, it executes the else block. That is the difference between two. And here in this one, switch statement, it checks multiple values or exact constant values. And just keep in mind that we need to use break statement, okay, so that the execution stops. So otherwise all the conditions will be covered here. Otherwise control is transferred to default statement. So we use default in the end, so that if no value matches, then it will go to default. But it has some limitations, and the limitation, just keep in mind that it only matches character and integer data types variables. Okay, and we can't use less than or greater than like we use in the if else statement. Okay, hope the program is clear, all the things are clear. If you need to ask anything else, just let me know in the comments, and I will cover in the next video.